so early. You guys want to get some coffee or something?
Can I get a cup of coffee? Black? Can't you see we talking? White?
Even little kids in Mexico drink coffee.
Well, I'm not a little kid in Mexico, okay?
That is the best coffee I've ever tasted.
A damn fine cup of coffee.
You want a cup of coffee?
No coffee.
Coffee drinker, huh?
Maybe we could grab some coffee?
Coffee! Coffee, 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 coffee!
God damn, Jimmy. That's some serious gourmet shit. Me and Vincent would have been satisfied with some freeze-dried Taster's Choice, right? And he springs this serious gourmet shit on us.
Gourmet shit.
The best kind of shit.
Good morning. Happy New Year. It's our second day of 2023. I spent New Year's sick, but with my friends. Wish you could have been there, John. I missed the phone call from Don Ecker, sadly, but I still wished him a Happy New Year. And but Keith, Mel, and Dawn, Scott, and I celebrated the New Year. We got a wonderful phone call from some dude south of the border. Who was that? Who was that, Martin?
What?
I said we got some video phone call from some dude south of the border. Who do you think that was?
Nah, I don't know, but he sounds cool.
Yeah, his wife is awesome. And it was funny because I didn't realize that was your daughter. And I'm like, I'm friends with her. I think she friended me a while back. I think she really likes what you do.
I sure hope so.
So I was like, hey, I know her. So
Yeah.
It was really nice getting that video call from you. I loved how Keith and Scott took off with my phone to talk to you. They just left me in the living room to go talk to you in the kitchen. It was such a fun night. We played apparently only 2 hours, but it sure felt like 5 hours of Trivial Pursuit Saturday Night Live. Because like at the beginning, man, I was getting like ones and twos. I was barely moving, but I was guessing everybody's answers. So I was like, I'm like half full with the wedges before anybody else. But then like we hit a lull in the game where it was like Keith, Scott, and I, and Mel, and Don and I are like, poor Don was playing the game. She doesn't know shit about Saturday Night Live. So we were slipping her answers. And, but we were all like, just sort of like, what? Who? And they were including too many of the other casts that nobody gives a shit about, like Janine Garofalo. There were like 3 Janine Garofalo questions.
Dude,
I'm like, that's more skits than she ever did while she was on SNL. You know, she was terrible on there. She knows she was terrible.
I had a massive crush on that girl.
I did too, until she opened her mouth back in early 2000s about the Tonkin Bay. And I'm like, how did you do that? Every fact you just said is wrong. Oh, you got Vietnam right. Okay. There, you got the name right. I hate it when people talk history, especially military history, and don't know their fucking info. She spoke with bullet points, and she just looked stupid when she did it. And it sank her career.
Typical leftist.
Yeah. And man, I had a thing for her too. You know, she was in that movie, takes place in Ireland, where she's going there to find her fiance, I think, or some shit like that, and ends up falling in love with was it Tom Hiddleston? It was someone like him. Someone like Hiddleston. She falls in love with this Irish dude, and it's a romantic comedy. I enjoyed it, but man, she was so limited in her acting, everything. She's not a very good actor. Not very good.
She was okay in Mystery Men.
Yeah.
Mystery Men, she was good. She was also good in the Uma Thurman movie that they did, another romantic comedy where Janine Garofalo uses Uma Thurman. It's sort of like, Cyrano de Bergerac. She wants to meet this guy, but she's pretending to be Uma Thurman to meet him, when in reality she's this. In her mind, she's a dumpy Italian girl or some shit, and it's like, just be you. I found that there's something sexually attractive about women who are just themselves, even when they're playing.
Krampus, there's not a count for taste.
That's okay. That's okay. We love you anyways. Let's see. I want to say good morning to everybody. Penny is the first one here. Good morning. Krampus Jeebus was number 2 in the room. Number 2. Bill Barkley was number 3, but I already spoke to him before the show. He was one checking to see if I knew about Jeremy Renner. I'm like, yeah, I know about it. That's fucked up, man. And we're guessing that because according to TMZ, they showed a video of one of his snowplows, which is an encapsulated one. It's like basically it's on tracks. It's a big one. I'd say it weighs probably maybe a ton at most. So, but he's inside of a cabin, locked in cabin. So I'm like, maybe he rolled it, like John said. Maybe he rolled it. I don't know. Then they showed a photo of him on a smaller four-wheel ATV with a plow in the front, and I'm like, that one seems more likely the case. But I don't know. I just hope he's better because he's in stable bet in ICU.
Well, they got like 2 feet of snow. So notice, Martine, I said feet instead of foot.
Oh, man.
Yeah, because we hate confusing you.
I'm not gonna outlive this, right?
No. Martine before the show is like, why do you say foot when you mean feet? Like you are 6 feet tall. Yeah, I'm like, yeah. Sorry, Martin. That's Americanisms for you. And it is. It's an Americanism. By the way, Bill Barkley says, if Gary is on today and reading this, I finally got around to watching that 5-part thing with Charlie Cox. No, it started out good. Episode 1 and episode 2 felt like it was going somewhere. But then I don't want to spoil it for anybody. So spoiler alert, avert your ears for a minute on this show. It's called Treason. He fucking dies. Way before the ending, and it's the women that run it across the finish line. And I thought, well, that was kind of stupid, not allowing him. They should have like helped, because I figured they would do something like he would be taken captive, and it's the women in his life that would help save the day. That would have been much better. But just his death is just so It's like he's fucking shot to death by a piece of shit federal agent from the FBI. Or was it CIA? I can't remember. Bill probably remembers better than me. I was just so fucking annoyed at that. I'd rather forget that fucking TV show. If they'd even given him a more interesting way of dying, I would have been okay with it. It was just so fucking stupid. Okay, honey. Hopefully Anna will be here. We're supposed to talk about episode 2, but I got to be honest, I feel like shit. I'm sitting here and I just kind of want to I just want to talk to my friends. Maybe we can talk about something else. I mean, I know we lost Pele last week, and Joe was wanting us to talk about his movie Victory. It's one of the few things he was ever in. And Stallone, Michael Caine, great World War II drama about POWs. Again, like Stalag 17, POWs who get to play in an actual game in a stadium against the Nazis in a football match. Mm. And I love the fact that Stallone doesn't know shit about soccer. And I believe that in real life, Stallone didn't know shit. What?
Where do I stand during the corner?
Well, I do know that in the making of that film, they had masks made of Stallone for the stunt doubles to wear. the actual guys that knew how to play football.
I know that I like that Stallone was asking that question for half a movie, and they only answered him seconds before the game. Oh yeah, you stand in the opposite post.
Stood in the opposite corner. By the way, I see Scribe Light is here too this morning. Good morning, my friend. Anybody else? Dragon Ruse is here. Yes, good morning. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. That's awesome. Good to see all you guys. I hope everybody's having a good new year so far. I got to tell you, Jeremy Renner having that accident on Sunday, I didn't even want to read any of the news. I wanted to start my year off on a happy note and not have it all fucked up by someone like Jeremy Renner dying. But so far, he's stable and in the ICU. So, and I see you, John.
Oh, hey.
So
you're missing the little romper room camera or romper room.
Yeah,
mirror.
I know. I actually have a graphic for that, but it's such a pain in the ass to use. But I got to tell you, one of my favorite nursing medical jokes I ever heard was in that movie Rushmore, where they go to dinner. They're all sitting around the table, and the better looking Wilson brother, I can't even, Luke Wilson is sitting there, and he's in scrubs. And the kid that plays the main character in Rushmore says something about them being his nurse. He made fun of him, his nurse outfit. He says, these are called scrubs. And the kid that plays the main character looks at me and goes, oh, are they? I still giggle in my head. Oh, are they? That's a good line. I like Anderson. It's Wes Anderson, right, that directed those?
Yeah, I think. Yeah, that was Rushmore. Yeah.
I like his stuff, but he's just a little too niche sometimes, and he gets a little too pretentious for me.
I got to be honest, I'm not a real big Wes Anderson fan.
I like his early stuff. It's really like up to Rushmore, Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, and I love Bottle Rocket. That is a fun film. It's got all the Wilson brothers in it, including the older brother, the big one, who looks nothing like them. And he plays the bully in it.
Yeah,
I like
Wes Anderson's one of those directors that tends to use a lot of the same people.
Well, yeah, you get your what they call them posse, or not retinue. What's the word I'm looking for? John Wayne had them too. John Wayne films, whether it was John Ford or whoever was directing it, drinking. Yeah, there's a lot of drinking. He would use a lot of the same actors. And I was just talking about this the other day that Robert Mitchum's boy was on radio and said some things and got into a heated argument and yelled at John Wayne because he was a typical leftist Hollywood guy. John Wayne, not. He was a diehard red, white, and blue Republican, to a point that was like almost annoying for even me. But he loved America, man. So I can't slide him. I just wish he'd served his country. Don and I talk about that he got out first on a medical for, I think they said he had flat feet or some shit like that. And then he was eventually released or relieved of having to serve because he was the sole provider for his family. Financial provider for a very large family. He had a lot of kids. And Don and I kind of, I frown on that shit. Frank Sinatra pulled the same shit. He punctured eardrum for Frank Sinatra. But I think the one who got the worst into the stick on his avoiding service during World War II is Van Johnson. Let me pull him up real quick. Van Johnson, big movie star before World War II, man. Big. This guy had everything going for him, and he got drafted. And here we go. I'll share it real quick. Share screen. Can you hear my mouse clicking?
Yeah, I can hear something, but
Okay.
it's not that distracting.
It's not that bad? Okay, good. So here's Van Johnson, very well-known actor. before World War II. In a lot of movies, his career took a nosedive after what happened in World War II, which was he tried to get out of service by claiming that he was homosexual. And not that there's anything wrong with that, because clearly I'm cool with it, really cool with it. I love
the lying part.
But back then, all the way up to when I served, homosexuality was frowned upon, and especially in the military. So he was released from service. And then right afterward, he was in a horrible accident. Probably should have killed him. And it crushed part of his skull. And he had to have a metal plate put in his forehead. And you can really notice it after the incident, because his forehead got really shiny and they would have to dab his forehead to keep it from being so fucking shiny. And because he had a big metal plate in his forehead. And he tried to have everything updated, that's why he didn't serve. And the U.S. military, the Department of Defense says, no, we got what's okay. It's all right. We'll stick with that one. But he goes, no, really, I'd rather you take that out. And he goes, no, we're going to keep it just as it is. And that haunted him the rest of his career. Mikey's here. Hey, buddy, how you doing, man? Happy New Year, my friend. Yes, I'm hoping that she's able to get something she wants to do, because there are a lot of jobs there that were open, but there were jobs that she would be miserable doing. And because the problem over there is they allow smoking in a lot of restaurants, and she'd like to do waitressing, but she can't be, because of her chronic bronchitis and everything and asthma, she can't be around the smoking. So here's her finding something she likes. Alex Moore is here. Dragon Bricks is here. I see they dropped in. It's good to see everybody. Did I miss anybody? I get everybody. Alex Moore, Mexican Iron Man, Scribe Light. Yes, everybody's here. It's a good morning. Again, I want to state, I hope everybody had a wonderful, safe New Year. I lost a friend this weekend, New Year's Eve, Lumojin. He's a comic book artist. I've known him for years. He died, sadly. And it's devastating to a lot of us. Chris knows him too, Chris Cooksey. We're both friends with him, and just a sweetheart of a man. And he passed away. And then, of course, that news of Jeremy Renner, I didn't even want to read it at first. I'm like, nope, I don't want, nope. I don't want any more bad news. But because they say he's in stable condition, it sounds reasonably like he might pull through this pretty well. But
I hope so. But then again, Dad's a stable condition too.
You are such a negative Nilly. I swear to God. Yeah, I'm not in reality, I'm not into negative shit. You get negative with me, I will shut down on people when they go negative, but I'm teasing you. You're not really negative. But it is true. It's sort of like what I said to that sergeant was knowing is half the battle. I said losing is half the battle too, sergeant. Everything's kind of half the battle. So only 2 days till Bad Batch season 2. I'm looking forward to it, man. I really am. I liked season 1. I know a lot of people seem to have a problem with it. I'm like, I don't know what the beef is. She's not a Mary Sue. It's classic child-friendly writing that Filoni's good at. Filoni is good at writing for kids, tweens. That's who it's really seems to be written for, is tweens and young teens. And I would have enjoyed that show as a teen. And I got to tell you, and I'm sure a lot of you are like this. I have the 13-year-old version of me still lives up here and gets excited over things, but also gets really heartbroken, because that 13-year-old me wears his heart on his sleeve when it comes to Star Wars. And some of these assholes go, why are you taking this seriously? It's like, fuck you. I grew up with this, cocksucker. Fuck you. Star Wars matters to us. Star Trek matters to us. Classic sci-fi. We want it done right. We want it done in a way that respects the original stuff, not shit all over it. But that's, your modern audience loves when they shit on what we love. They love that. They love it. They are like, oh my God, thank you for shitting all over these assholes. We hate these fucking geeks. They really do. The people that talk shit to us the most hate us. Hate us. They hated us before any of this because we were warned a long time ago, if you all remember.
Yep.
The woke audience was threatening us. They said, we're coming for your fucking properties. This is back in the early 2000s, mid 2000s. We're coming for your stuff. We didn't take them seriously because they were just a small voice. Just a handful of fucking people. But you get a fucking social media giant and they will fucking they all of a sudden have a podium to go after our shit. Well, see, and this is the problem. I don't understand that. Dragon Bricks. It makes no sense to me. Those words are not logical. I don't care about what they're doing, but I still fucking care about Star Wars. Empire Strikes Back will always be one of my favorite films of all time. Star Wars, even if Lucas went back and renamed it to A New Hope, but it's still Star Wars to me. Star Wars, the original. I'm never going to stop loving it. Disney is fucking everything up, but they're hemorrhaging money now. The idiots have destroyed the company. So my hope is that they lose Star Wars. I hope they lose everything. I hope they have to sell everything. Oh, fuck Bleeding Cool.
Sorry.
That's okay. Bleeding Cool wants Joss Whedon to sign his rights over Buffy.
Okay.
First of all, I'm not a fan of that show. I never liked Joss Whedon. I like the original film. I enjoyed the crap out of that. It was silly. A lot of fun. So when I heard about the series, I started to watch it thinking it was going to be, and then I found out, oh no, Joss Whedon did this in spite of that movie because he hated that movie. And I'm like, oh.
I was never a Buffy fan, but I did like Angel. I was an Angel
was
fan.
Amazing. I was a big fan of that. I became a Borneus fan because of that show. He's a great character. I don't know, if Joss Whedon is responsible for creating him or not. I know he's still an executive on that show. But I really did, and I'm a fan of Borneus. I love Bones. I love the current show he's on, SEAL Team. Really good show.
Yeah. Well, in my house,
Joss Whedon can fuck himself.
Thank you. In my house, we're also all fans of Buffy, Angel, and Firefly. What can I say?
I like the movie. I didn't like the series. Hey, did any of you hear about War of the Worlds movie coming out this year called War of the Worlds: The Attack?
No.
I have not. I tried liking that one international series, and it got stupid. It started going stupid going into season 2, and I'm like, you lost my interest. And but at first, I was really engaged with this, with the idea that possibly Martians or the aliens were here all along, that they were seeded here, and that the invasion was eventually going to come, and these seeded would help with the invasion. But it just went stupid. It just, I don't know. It's like it started out really good. The British version of War of the Worlds that came out on the BBC, garbage, absolute garbage. Not worth the video it was shot on. Piece of shit. I would like to see, because I got to tell you, despite having issues with it, when compared to some of the more modern stuff, Spielberg's War of the Worlds is a monument to H.G. Wells compared to what these other programs were. Just crap. So I have little faith, Bill. I'm sorry. Who's producing it? That might help me.
I just looked it up.
Studio Network.
It's the producer is it's directed by Junaid Sayed. I don't have Box Office Pro, so it won't tell me who the production company is.
I am looking Junaid up right now on IMDb, see if he's done anything worth a shit.
I'm not recognizing anybody in the cast.
He was a visual effects supervisor for G.I. Joe: Rise of Cobra. He is visual effects supervisor for War of the Worlds: The Attack. The adventures of three young, I hear the word young and I'm like, astronomers and their flight or fight to survive a deadly Martian invasion. Oh shit, it's got Vincent Reagan in it. Oh, I like that guy. Sam Gittins is in it. He's a good actor too. Chris Sadler, kind of a weird actor.
Okay, I know who Sam Gittins is now. I just didn't recognize his face.
Alhaji Fofana is in it. I'm trying to remember what I know him from. 2 Hours. That's where I remember him back in 2018. He was in 2 Hours. That's all I've seen him in. But he looks familiar, so I know I've seen him. Oh, wait. What's this one? Oh, yep. I saw him in this one. He was in See How They Run, that new mystery comedy that takes place at the opening of the Mousetrap in London in early 1950s. It was a fun movie. I enjoyed it. He's in that one. So this guy is a visual effects guy, so I don't think he's directing. But
it says he is.
It said that he's visual effects on my screen. Let me go back. I'll look at it. History.
Says he wrote the screenplay with some guy named Tom Jaloffi, and he's also the director.
Oh, I got to put the... Yeah, okay, go fuck yourself, IMDb. I left out the colon. There you go. Happy now? So, yeah, he's listed as the director. Tom Jaloffi is the writer. We know him from Nothing. He's done The Dark Recess, Winter Hill, Estranged, and The Killing Stone. None that I've seen. Let's see. Let's get deeper into it. Renegades. Wrath of Van Helsing, that was a straight to fucking DVD. Jurassic Island, another straight to... Oh, yeah, this is not going to be fucking good.
No.
And he did Tooth Fairy 3. The first one was horrible.
He did Tooth Fairy 2, too.
Yeah, fuck this. Yeah, it's going to be garbage. It's going to be garbage.
Yeah.
I guarantee it'll be a limited release, Bill. It'll hit a few hundred theaters and then they'll go straight to video on demand and disc. That's the one I'm talking about, Bill. It's an international production. It's between France, Italy, Britain, and the United States. I think they're the main ones. Germany might have been involved with that. I'm not sure. But it started out, season 1 was interesting. There was a mystery there that what's going on? And I kind of like that. And but yeah, Gabriel Byrne got me interested because I'm a big Gabriel Byrne fan. I love that guy. It's got 3 seasons. I haven't watched the last 2 seasons. I only watched season 1. And at the ending of season 1, I was like, no, I don't like where you're going with this. I'm out. So yeah, they'll do that. Bill, I mean, I remember when Rutger Hauer, I was out in Cali at that time. I was with my Army unit, and my then wife, she and I were in the same unit. We heard about Rutger's new movie, so we were going to go see it at the theater, and it was gone by the time we got there. It was only there for like 2 or 3 days and was removed. Nobody went to see it. And so I had to wait till it came out on video, which was not very long. I mean, it was within 6 months. It tanked. How could Gary forget about using a colon? All right. Backdoor breached. There we go. Oh, I got to scroll through all these videos.
Open your back door, baby. Loosen your hinges, I'll show you my key.
But I guess we could be checking up on some stuff like right now. Let's see. Daredevil Charlie Cox welcomes crossovers with She-Hulk. Look, I've lost interest in Daredevil. Once I heard it was being written to be more kid-friendly, and then he opened his fucking mouth. You watch. His show's not going to get the numbers that they wanted because it's not the Netflix version. Report Chris Evans might return as the Human Torch in Deadpool 3. Are you ready for Warner Brothers Discovery to do a Harry Potter reboot?
No.
If it's to continue the characters with them as adults now, I'd be fine with that. I'd like that. See them as the parents.
No, it's a full reboot.
Then no. And again, this is I'm going to criticize this word again. Reboot. Reboot is okay when it's a property that was created solely for film or TV. This was a series of novels that were adapted into film form. And so therefore it's not a reboot, it's just a new adaptation or readaptation.
Yeah.
So it's not a reboot. So I'm going to get on who wrote that. I'm going to say something to Mikey about that. It's not a reboot. It's a readaptation. Grammar is important. She should know that. Report, Marvel Studios seeks Henry Cavill for Captain Britain. I don't believe for a second that that's going to happen.
Nope.
Green Lantern not canceled at HBO Max. Christopher McQuarrie responds to the question about directing Superman, which is his response is nobody's talked to me. And I like this idea, Mary Elizabeth Winstead to play Rebel's favorite Ashoka. So that might be good.
Yeah,
I like
she's
her.
supposed to play Hera Syndulla, who's the captain of the Ghost, which is the ship the rebels fly around on.
Yeah. Look, I'm a big fan of hers. I really am. When I read the report, the girl from Scott Pilgrim, is going to be playing part of Captain Marvel. I about lost my shit because, of course, who am I thinking of? It's her. She's the other star of that fucking movie. Why they use that movie to announce Brie Larson, I don't know. She's not the fucking star of the film. She's a minor character.
That would have been like saying that in the new Captain America that the guy from Scott Pilgrim's going to be in it.
Yeah, he was like a minor character. Why would you do that? And it broke my heart when I saw the first picture. I'm like, that's when she's laying on the sofa with the comic book, and I'm going to make sure to, treat this correctly. And I'm like, okay. And she didn't.
No.
They shit all over Captain Marvel or Captain Marvel. Let's see. Yeah, I don't really care about that. New evidence proves Marvel Studios developing World War Hulk movie. That is interesting. It's Edwin that wrote this one. I'm not going to read it, but that is interesting because if they can work out a deal, who is it that owns that? That's
Universal.
Fox. It's Universal. They can
If
work
Fox
out a
owned
deal.
it, that wouldn't be a problem because they own Fox.
They own Fox. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So yeah, it would be interesting if they could work out a deal with them because they should see. Universal should see how Sony has done with Spider-Man with them. So, did any of you guys check out the old short with Loch Ness Monster in it? Very Ray Harryhausen effects. I don't know what you're talking about. I do not know. And by the way, if I didn't say hi to you, what's up, Che? It's good to see you today. Happy New Year. So, old short. I don't know what that means. Was it like a short film that was actually made a long time ago? I don't know. He has a thing for her too. He cheated on his wife with her.
Well, they're married.
I couldn't understand what you said, Martin.
Oh, that Ewan and oh my God, her.
Mary Elizabeth Winstead?
Yeah, they married eventually.
That's dangerous. Marrying somebody you cheated with. Because if they'll cheat to be with you, they'll cheat on you. Simple rule.
Yeah.
Very simple. Netflix Daredevil season 1 was the best written superhero series in modern day. No, I'm not going to argue with you at all on that. I absolutely agree. I enjoyed Punisher. My problem with Punisher was they had him going against non-Punisher enemies instead of going Punisher. You know,
Yeah,
they kept making it religious right people. You know, it's like, look, get your politics off the fucking shows and make something good. Still enjoyed it, but it could have been so much better. I stopped watching Jessica Jones because they were sexist in stating they would only hire female directors, and I'm like, now if you flip that, you'd be screaming war. You'd want blood. But you think it's okay when you do it. I don't understand that. I don't understand that mindset that, you know, it's one thing to say what's good for the goose is good for the gander. But the fact is, it's a different meaning than that. That we have tried to become more and more, I hate that word. It's the D word. But the fact is, you know, we do a better job of hiring women for jobs that normally men would get. Catherine Bigelow's main name for those. But says Jeff Loeb is Jewish, so they think of Christianity as a joke. Yeah, but I kind of like Jeff Loeb because Jeff Loeb had a rule that Feige wanted him gone so that he could break that rule. And that's where a lot of this woke shit started coming in. Might be on the PCM groups.
The
short
Facebook group. The short might be on the Facebook group.
Okay, I'll have to take a look at that after the show. That'll be interesting. Yeah, look. A lot of people use their deaths to,
Yeah.
Networking is networking. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I'm not going to. Hollywood people, in my opinion, tend to be lower moral standard type people to begin with. But no, Keith and I were kind of excited at first when Jeff Loeb got cut out, and then we started seeing what was happening. We're like, oh, this is not good. This is not good, because everybody, even I jumped on the bandwagon of hating Victoria Alonso, and I really do. I despise her, but Kevin Feige's right in there with her, man.
Yeah,
he's right in there with her.
That's why Disney needs their own version of Zaslav.
Yeah, there was hope early on that David, what's his name? Bill, not Bill Iger, the other guy, They got
Bob
just got
Chapek.
fired. Yeah, Bob Chapek. Bob at first seemed like he might be. No. And then everybody got excited when he fired that one dude, had him escorted out. And I'm like, that's one dude. You know, Victoria Alonso talked shit about him too during an actual official meeting in front of an audience. Didn't fire her.
Oh, she's probably got dirt on him.
She's got cootie protection, CP. Remember that when you're kids? It's like, yeah, you get cooties, you get tagged, you get cooties, you got to run by, and somebody goes, CP, cootie protection, CP. Like, fuck you, cooties. Zello needs to bring in Babylon 5 to HBO Max. I completely agree with you. I know Keith does too. I think that there's a concern. Keith has a concern that we may not see it, that it may be in the back burner mode, which means it may just eventually fall off. Yeah.
Ooh, you're way ahead, Bill.
Yeah, it's still got 20 minutes yet.
Yeah. It's like,
Man, I don't know about Zaslav because I'm still convinced that he's the one who fired everyone in the CEU. Not Gunn.
Effectively, yeah. No, Gunn. What happened was, from my understanding, that because Ben Affleck was him and Hawing backing out. Affleck. Ben Affleck was hemming and hawing about coming back as Batman. That he just said, "Screw it, we'll just reboot the whole thing."
That's bullshit. Get rid of Affleck only, not the thing with Cavill and I don't even want to talk about the DCU anymore.
Well, that's okay. The DCU EU doesn't want to talk about you either.
what's this acceptance speeches for No Way Home? I don't know anything about this. You guys know what he's talking about?
No, I don't. I mean, I don't know anything either.
Well, they Spider-Man No Way Home won Saturn Award for like best movie or something, and
really?
Saturn Awards is a minor award that's just genre only, and unfortunately, a lot of the people in those award circles are extremely woke, even in every genre, but especially in like the Saturns, the Hugos, all those. So yeah, I'm not surprised if it's cringeworthy, because those are the people that win the awards.
Woke. And to mess with people who
it's a two-parter. This is the first part.
What?
You should read up the clip.
But you said something else. I was trying to hear what you said.
That it was a two-parter. The comment.
Oh, the comment. Okay. Well, if you'd shut up early, I would have told you why. I'm sick as fuck, and I just don't feel up to doing it. I just want to just talk. My head is just clogged with fucking whatever I caught. Need a pop culture minefield award and give away a golden retarded award. They should redub that I am Robot Will Smith clip, so it's the goddamn reboots, John. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't want to disappoint anybody and not do a show, so I'm glad I'm here at all, because I didn't want to get up at all this morning. And so I just wanted to talk about some of the latest news and get caught up next week on Military Monday with the show.
And we can do episode 2 and 3 next week.
Yeah. because episode two, the thing I'm glad about is almost all of the depressing shit about the show is done. Because episode one was the most depressing part. It was like, getting through that was tough. And then moving on to the plot and the overall theme of what was going on. Once we get past the point, because here we are now, we're asking how reliable a narrator is he? Because it seems like some of this stuff is real, but it ends, last episode ended with him over top of his wife and child. They were murdered. And you're left questioning, did he do that? And how did his gun that he locked up in a biometric safe, how'd that end up in the hand of somebody else? Right? So, you're left wondering on this new episode, but I don't want to talk about it this week. I just want to. I don't even know if I'm going to do a full 2 hours because I'm just fucking beat. I hate getting sick. All I want to do is sleep through it. I go without eating, just sleep. Because it's how you recover. It really is. Resting is the way you recover. A lot of people know this, that when you're sleeping, that's when you age. When you're sleeping, that's when you grow as a kid.
Yeah.
You don't grow during the day. You grow while you're sleeping. All the stuff going on with your body that's essential to moving forward happens while you're sleeping. But anyway, since you like Bad Batch, Gary, will you be reviewing it all once season 2 is out? Technically, they are military. We could probably do that on Mondays. I wouldn't mind it. I enjoyed season 1. Yeah, it's a little childish, but it's written at a 4th grade level. It's your typical old TV show style of writing. Lassie, shows from the 50s, 60s, 70s even. Started transitioning a little bit in the 80s. The 90s got a little better with some of the writing. We saw that with shows like 30-something that were writing more for a mature audience. Since you like the Bad Batch, I wouldn't mind doing that. I really wouldn't. Did they rip off God of War? Who?
Did who? Yeah. You'll have to explain yourself, Krampus.
Because I don't know the story of God of War. I really don't.
Oh, I think he's referring to the fact that that they killed off Reese's kids in Terminal List.
Oh yeah. Well, I got to tell you, it is a cliche for heroes to be driven by the murders of their family, loved ones. It's been used ad nauseum throughout the history of film as the greatest reason for revenge. In Vindicated, I flipped that on its head in that the main character is driven because his wife and baby are killed in an automobile accident, and he blames himself because the phone call she reached to answer when she had the accident was his, the main character. And they die. And I don't think I'm gonna pull a Lethal Weapon because they kind of flipped that later, if you remember.
Yep.
That it was actually somebody else gunning for him and killed his wife instead.
To clean his conscience.
Yep. And I always thought that was fucked up, because I liked the fact that he had that guilt, that he had that sadness and loss.
Yeah. Hey, Krampus, the Terminal List is actually based on a series of books by Jack Carr. I went and looked up when the date was, but it came out in 2018. Yeah, he's Navy SEAL. The book came out in 2018.
And it's a really good book series, and more are coming. He plans to keep going with these books, and I like him. He reminds me, his writing style kind of reminds me of Marchenko, who is the head of Navy SEALs. He's the guy who formed them. He created the first SEAL team, actual SEAL. There were underwater demolitions before that. They were special forces, but they were underwater demolitions. Then they got called Navy SEALs, and he's the one, I do believe, that gave him the name. Marchenko, if you've never read any of Marchenko stuff, fucking go back and read Marchenko. That is some combat intense military shit right there.
Yeah.
But Terminalist
here.
Hey Gap,
Gap.
how you doing, man?
I'm
Get
great.
back to a breach.
Open your back door, baby.
No, we played that one.
Strong. I'm gonna go check the back door. Back door.
So Terminalist is written from a Navy SEAL's perspective, and I like that. And then on top of that, he was the executive producer of the show, the guy who created it and wrote it. And on top of that, the military advisor for the show would bring on other members of Navy SEALs to help make sure everything is done accurately. And it led to two things that occurred. One where he turns right. At one point, I had never seen a precision turn like Chris Pratt does in that one scene when they're breaching that village to deal with some bad guys. It leads up to the tomahawk scene, tactical tomahawk. And then there's a scene in the final episode when he's going up a circular, or you know what I'm saying. It's not actually circular; it's more like a rectangle, but it's going upstairs, and he's going. And as he's going upstairs, he has to look to his right as he's going up the left staircase, and he shoulder shifts. That's something nobody's ever shown before in the history of military TV. They've never shown a shoulder shift. And I was, I get excited about little things like that. I've worked for Dale Dye for years. And that's why I get so excited, because military accuracy is so important. That's why I got so pissed watching Echo 3 when he puts his fucking grip all the way to the end of the grip on his weapon. He's walking forward, or as they would do it this way. If you don't have a gun in your hand, when you talk to someone in the military, they do this. But he puts his weapon, his hand is all the way at the end of the grip. And I'm like, nobody carries a weapon that way. It's piss poor control when you turn. You have no control over the weapon. You're going to be all over the fucking place when you turn. You hold it up close. If you don't have a pistol grip at the front, forward grip, you put your hand up against the magazine hole.
Dude,
Dragonbacks, there's a new list.
Continue. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say the books, they continue it. There's more going on than just what you see in the first season.
Yeah, and that's why I said every season's going to be a book. And I'm hoping that Chris Pratt continues making these until there's no more books.
Book 6 comes out this year, so.
No, that's how the book ends. It's left with him going to another country, but they're showing you early in the story clues of what he was going to do. And I don't want to fucking spoil it for anybody.
Yeah. And anybody that says Chris Pratt can't act needs to watch the funeral scene from episode 2.
Yeah. Man. Chris does a fine job. And look, man, anybody who would get naked on a TV set for the show Community, fucking in my book, they're cool. When they open that door and he's actually standing there with his dick hanging out and he caught the cast off card and they were like, the human resources, you can't do that anymore. And he's like, oh man. Because apparently it's a thing. He likes getting naked. I see Blacklist final season is out this year. Don, it's going to break Don's heart finding out that it's the last season. He loves that show, man. He loves that show. I put it on my queue to watch eventually. I will get around to watching. All I've seen is season 1. That's it. And it just didn't seem like the kind of show I was going to get into. But from what I've been told, it gets better. Pratt could act even when he was younger in Everwood series. That's right. Chris is a very good actor. I think his comedy is amazing. His improv is some of the best, which is why he got hired for Community. And his character was only supposed to be in 1 season. In fact, he wasn't supposed to.
You mean Parks and Rec?
4? Yeah, Parks and Rec. I'm sorry. He was supposed to only be in like 4 episodes, but he's so enjoyable and funny. They kept him, and all the way to the end, man. He's a great character. His fake FBI persona is hilarious. The FBI agent, I forget what he's called,
Yeah.
Macklin or some shit like that. No, I'm going to introduce Don to that because Bosch, because I talked to him about it. Bosch is one of the best shows, and I got to be honest with you, I wasn't sure I was going to be into the Sidequel series. I fucking love it. It's still Bosch. I think the reason they changed the name is due to contracts, because they were switching it from Amazon to their free service, Freevee. And so therefore it had to be a new show. But it is the same show. It's the same show. His daughter is now a rookie. And I fucking love it. I fucking love it. End on a great cliffhanger. We don't know what's happened to his daughter. And yeah, Bosch is not one to fuck with, man. He will fucking kill you. He's a law-abiding citizen, absolutely, but he does believe in justice, even personal justice. That's why I like that guy. There was that other series with Billy Bob Thornton. I enjoyed that show, where he's an L.A. attorney, a drunk. House. But it was the other big hit with Bosch in that show. And I enjoyed that show too. I like Billy Bob. He's a weirdo in real life. He's fucking weird. I don't think I would ever want to meet him. And one of his first films that he wrote was at Close Range with Bill Paxton. I fucking love that movie. Have you ever seen that?
At Close Range? Yeah. I saw it. That's
a great fucking little film. Little showdown film. You know, this little small podunk Texarkana town, you know, and fuck a diddle, dude. That was a really good show. Bill Paxton was great in it.
Goliath.
Goliath. Yeah, that's a show he does where he's the lawyer. And he's basically constantly taking Goliaths down, all the big guys with a lot of money. Bezos loves that show, even though he is a Goliath. Bezos is a Goliath. You know, I love commies because they like to act like everybody else is a Goliath, not them. I love how Hollywood rich motherfuckers go, give up your money, become socialist. You first.
You got more than I do.
You have more to feed the people with. Yeah, you fucking do it first. Fuck you. Jack Ryan season 3, fantastic. Season 2, garbage. I was so pissed at that season. Season 1, it was good. It wasn't great. It was good. They kept changing showrunners. And here's the shocking part. The showrunner for season 3 was moved over from Star Trek Discovery. And I immediately thought this is going to be crap. But I found out that Krasinski was one of the executive producers on the show, meaning that he had authority and power over stuff. And so he called the shots, and they wanted to dedicate the season to Mace Neufeld. And Mace Neufeld, of course, made all the films and was an executive producer on the show. But he didn't have much control over it. But Mace set the standard of what Jack Ryan should be with Alec Baldwin and Harrison Ford.
Yeah.
My problem with Sum of All Fears was I disliked Ben Affleck. He's too square-jawed for Jack Ryan.
Yeah.
Too Bruce Wayne-ish. Because he looks like Bruce Wayne. He really does. He's one of the few actors that played Bruce Wayne who actually looks like what Bruce Wayne should look like. And that's not what, you know, Alec did that really well. Harrison Ford really brought the average Joe to his version of Jack Ryan. You know, in that scene when he's talking about why he did what he did when they gave him the American version or British version of The Knighting for an American. Which I forget what they're called. It's a little different. And he says, I was full of rage. You know, I saw what they were doing, and I saw these people suffering, and they're horrified, and I had to do something. Nobody else was able to do anything. And it looked like I was the only person. And I've been caught in those situations. I know what that's like, where it's like you kind of look around going, oh God, please don't make me be the person that has to do something. I've done it, you know, and I'm like, oh fuck, I've got to go do this.
Well,
just do it.
As much as I dislike Alex Baldwin, and I've disliked him a long time before he went super woke. I guess he's always been super woke. Before
he's been an asshole.
Thing.
When he called for the stoning of this one politician and his family on Conan O'Brien, you can't find that clip anywhere. Good luck. Yeah. They don't want that out there. He said that on fucking Conan O'Brien, and said that this politician and his wife and children should be taken in the street and stoned to death on Conan O'Brien. I watched it live. Yeah. And I'm like, who the fuck says that? Because I was an Alec Baldwin fan at that point. And that's the moment where I'm like, that's horrifying. And people that say shit like that scare the shit out of me. I'm like, you need to stop talking like that. That's fucked
The only good Baldwin's Adam Baldwin. And he's not related.
He's no relation. I love it when he talks shit about the Baldwins. He'll post things on Twitter talking shit about him. He goes, I recall, you're the only one who actually murdered anybody. It's like, oh my God, fucking Adam's the king. A supplementary insurance.
Affleck.
Hey, Real Wade.
Hey, Wade's here. Yeah, what's up, buddy? What's that question? Hey, Gary, have you heard of Henson Rising Dragon?
That's that war or Korean War. Is it a series or is it a movie coming out? I know it's about the Korean War.
Hey, I'll give you this.
Give me what?
Read.
I'm not going to, my watching won't count. I'm not going to watch through anything that they'll get points for because, in my opinion, they should have just renamed the show.
Yeah.
They shouldn't have done it as season 3 of Picard. By connecting it with Picard, you have to accept the previous 2 seasons with it. And that's my problem. I won't do that. I won't accept it. I hear it's really good. And I do. I trust the RMB. I really do. I'm sure that it's going to be very entertaining and very Star Trek. But I despise the fact that it was connected. It should have been its own show.
When he kept saying that, I thought, what'd they get to him and force him to drink the Kool-Aid? But we'll see. We'll give it a chance. But
this really does look interesting. Hansan, Rising Dragon. In 1592, Korea faces.
Oh, I thought it was Korean War.
Of the powerful Japanese Navy, as defending Admiral Yin Sun-sin's forces fall into crisis, they resort to secret weapon, the dragon-headed ships known as the, I don't even know how to pronounce that word, Gigabuksion. Using them, they hope, this does look really good. Yeah, I will be watching that. Who asked that question? Who asked that?
Real Wade.
Wade? Was it Wade? Yeah, I'll be watching that, Wade.
Oh my God, no. Why? How does this shit have a sequel?
Because they're completely detached from the fan base. They're making shows for themselves now. They're not making them for us.
Whoa. There's not a trailer for that. That's not even a thing yet.
Well,
I don't know. Che's not known for being a bullshitter.
Well, I mean, I'm not saying you didn't watch a trailer called that, but I'm saying that's probably not a real trailer.
You think it might be a
like
fake
a fan
trailer?
thing? Yeah.
Yes, we are getting a second season of Jack Reacher. We are. Huh.
Yeah, I found the trailer. It's on Screen Culture. It's not on.
Oh, Screen Culture's bullshit. Yeah, they're bullshit. I know them. I blocked them. Oh. And with that.
Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the film.
Oh, man, I'm sorry again.
I can try to do it, but that accent that he's doing there is so weird. Hello, good evening, and welcome to the middle of the show. I can do it. I don't know.
And the name doesn't make any sense for an Eternals film because that's all about the symbiotes. The King in Black crossover event.
Yeah, I'm. Hold on a second. Let me look. See, Rising Dragon movie. Look and see if they got a release date on IMDb. Because I don't see it here. Wait a minute. It says it's available. Wait, what? It's already available?
Yeah.
It's on YouTube, Google Play, and it's on the Roku channel.
I was confusing Devotion with Rising Dragon for some reason. Devotion's the Korean war movie.
Oh, man, I want to watch Devotion so badly. Fucking love the Corsairs.
This looks cool. I went to IMDb and a little bit of the trailer is playing. Oh, this looks badass. It's a follow-up movie to the film The Admiral. So I'm going to go back and watch that shit too.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm glad you brought this up, dude. I want to watch this. I like historical war dramas. Did you hear they are striking in demonetizing channels that use dirty language? Apparently, just an FYI. I got to tell you, we don't care anymore. We've gone to a radio, and here within the next week, probably, we'll be broadcasting on YouTube, and we don't give a shit what YouTube does.
It's only like the first so many seconds of the
30
broadcast.
30 seconds. The first 30 seconds.
You know what? Because we have that one video, I wonder if we'll get ganked on it because I play it in the first seconds. Let me see if I can find that video real quick because it cracks me up that Max sent this to me. He was drunk when he recorded it, even though you can't tell. But he absolutely was drunk. He was hammered when he recorded this for me. And I fucking loved it. I'm like, this shit's fucking hilarious. Here we go. I think this is the full one.
Warning. The following program involves discussions between military veterans. As such, it is almost guaranteed that there will be coarse language and crude subject matter. So if the words piss, fuck, cock, cunt, and shit offend you, this might not be the place for you. Otherwise, enjoy.
And
that wasn't the full one.
Devotion.
The full one had.
Releases.
I don't know who that is.
Susan Wojcicki. He's talking about Susan Wojcicki. That's Susan Wojcicki is Snortopus's name for her.
Who is it though?
Mama Susan, in charge of YouTube. Susan Wojcicki.
Oh, yeah, fuck her. Yeah, fuck her. Alex Moore, I'm offended at your offensivity.
Yeah, but
It's
Martine,
an
Devotion
old
comes
County
out
joke.
on digital the 8th.
What?
Comes out on digital on the 8th.
What does?
Oh, Devotion.
Devotion.
Ah.
All right, I'll be watching that. So I'm supposedly starting work tomorrow. I might take the morning shift, but still working during the morning show, but off at noon. Well, that sucks. We'll miss you in the morning, buddy, if you can't make it. Yeah, that sucks. Actually, I've not seen it yet, Penny, but I am looking forward to seeing it because anything about those aviators for the Navy that fought in the Korean War, I'm going to fucking watch. And I like the fact that in the story, not every fucking white guy is a bad guy. I get so tired of that. It's like, stop doing that. Stop it. Seriously. Yeah, sort of poofs. You didn't know what I did. What I said was actually a quote from Bloom County when it's like, I'm offended at what you said. I'm offended that you're offended. And it just is long gagging at the end. Opus says, I'm offended at your offensivity. I fucking love that. Even Wade says it's a tearjerker. I don't mind that. Look, man, if I watch a war film, I prefer watching them alone because I get emotional watching war films. I hate it. My daughter would always turn and look at me because she could feel the seat shaking, and because I would start blubbering. And I'm like, stop looking at me. Don't look at me. I'm ugly. No, look, it just came out and I am curious about it. I got to be honest. It's got a great cast. Normally I get nervous when I see Netflix is involved, but they've been putting out some good stuff lately. So I think they woke up from their wokeness and realized that we're going to have to put out some good stuff along with the shit that we make.
Well, didn't they, after this whole thing about them and Dave Chappelle, didn't they, at the end of it, didn't they come out and say, look, we're here to make money. If you don't like it, you guys can just bounce.
Fuck off.
We're here to make money. We're going to put out content that makes money. And if that means it's going to offend you, well, hey, sorry.
I have it in my queue to watch. I'm not sure I'm going to get around to Kaleidoscope. The trailer looks good. I'll tell you that. It looks very interesting. And it has the blonde from Maverick in it. Oh, okay. All right. All right. So I will get around to watching. You can have my word on that shit. But let me think. Is there anything else new? Let me go to IMDb, see if they've got anything new to announce. I like the trailer for A Man Called Otto. I really do like that.
Bill said he saw it and said it was good.
The movie? You saw the movie? I didn't know it had come out yet.
Yeah, he says that. I have my reservations. The trailer didn't do it for me. That part when the woman tells him that, oh no, yes, you're so lovely, sure. Dude, shit, don't be like that. Let people be like they are, and don't be rude to their face just because they're not like the way you like it.
Well, movie-wise, I know there's nothing coming out this month I'm even interested in.
I got to tell you, there's a lot of crap out there right now. This looks interesting. In 2023, AI Combat Warriors, is that Jung_E? Looks like it's going to be a foreign film with the name Jung.
Yeah, sounds Korean.
The effects look Korean. I got to tell you, the Koreans we saw that trailer for Volts 5.
Oh yeah, that's amazing. When's that going to be?
That's from the Philippines. It's like,
yeah,
holy shit, that looks good. I like that the ships, even though they're clearly CG, look like the old wire ships flying around. They had that clean look to them. I love that. Have you watched the Korean War movie? Oh, yes, I saw that a long time ago. Yeah. They got some of their facts wrong in that movie, but it is a good film. It's a very good film.
Here's Bill review about Otto. Oh, man.
Well, I anticipate that. It's a character who clearly has problems because he lost his spouse. And he just wants to be left alone.
I had an uncle named Otto. Man, I love that guy. Unfortunately, he passed away.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But I do have to tell you, if you want an intense combat film, the one he's talking about, Taigagi, is a very good action war film. A lot of combat in it. And it's about the bond between soldiers. So it's funny that everyone else is out doing USA. Well, once we get rid of all the woke assholes in entertainment, we'll start seeing good filmmaking and TV shows again.
Well, I've really liked Korean sci-fi really since was it 2006 as The Host?
Oh man, The Host.
Yeah. Oh, that was nice.
That scene, that long running scene where the camera's moving and it comes up and just starts taking people and flinging them, eating them. I was like, that was one of the best scenes I'd ever seen in a kaiju film. My only pissing moan in that is, once again, the opening scene shot with America's to blame.
Yeah.
I'm like, get the fuck over yourself. China is the greatest polluter in the world.
Yep.
In the world. They pollute 1,000 times more than we do in the United States. We're one of the cleanest countries for that shit. Let's pour this chemical down the drain. Look, man, there's rules that we do, when disposing of medical waste. And we know that there's some shitheels out there that go against the rules. But the way they depicted it in that movie was insulting to the intelligence of the military.
Yeah.
So, but I still love that fucking movie. The sister, the archery shit. It was almost like M. Night Shyamalan had everything, had planned everything out and how the characters would do what they were going to do. It's still, no matter how it's pronounced, buddy, it's a great fucking movie. I agree with you. I liked it. It's Clint Eastwood, so I'm going to watch it. But I had beefs with it. I got over myself. My problem with him is, once again, he refuses to use a real good military advisor. He's been told multiple times, stop using that dude you use and use Dale Dye. Your films will get better recognition for the combat. He's devoted to this one dude, man.
Gotta admire loyalty.
I don't know what to call me. I just believe in being a good steward to this world.
That's conservationalist.
Okay, then that's what I am. Has anybody seen Gods and Generals?
No.
That's the Korean War, or not Korean War, Civil War thing.
Yeah, that's wait a minute, Gods and Generals. I'm trying to remember who is in that. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. Gods and Generals. Yeah, it seems like that's the Civil War film, and I'm not sure if that's one with Robert Duvall as Robert E. Lee. That was the one I liked. The previous version, it had Martin Sheen in it. It was good, not great.
2003, Robert Duvall's Robert E. Lee, Stephen Lang is Stonewall
Yeah, that was
Jackson.
the good one. That was the good one. Yep, that was the good one. Much better than the previous version miniseries that had Martin Sheen as Robert E. Lee. I'm like, completely miscast. Tombstone is
that was the good one.
Yeah, Tombstone is on my top 10 list of favorite films of all time.
Hey, Roadway Nation, I'm your Huckleberry. That's just my game.
Why, John Ringo, you look like somebody just walked over your grave. I'm your Huckleberry. Oh, I beg to differ. Play for blood.
That's not even a real question. There is only one Red Dawn movie.
I don't know what he's talking about. There is only one.
Yeah.
John Milius. Yeah.
Yeah.
Was there another version I don't know about? By the way, was it Master and Commander? Oh, man, it was supposed to be a trilogy. It was meant to be a trilogy, and it should have been. I was very engaged with that film. Has one of my favorite jokes set in it. At the kitchen or at the dining room table.
I want to answer this, please.
Yeah.
Whereas Wyatt Earp is more historical accurate, but Tombstone is as a movie, as an entertainment, is vastly superior.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, Dennis Quaid. Fuck, man. When Tombstone came out, he knew that he would never be remembered as Doc Holliday, because Val Kilmer stole it, man. Just stole it. But it is a good film. I like the ending of that when they're on that steamship up in Alaska, and he's remembering this kid says something about how he had saved his dad or some shit like that, and he goes, "May have happened that way."
No, he's not. Chris Hemsworth isn't in Red Dawn. Jeebus.
Yeah, you're thinking Powers Booth.
Yeah.
You know, Powers Booth and Swayze, Thomas C. Howell. I think not Matt Dillon, but his brother Kevin Dillon, I think, is in it. And that cute
Real
little
Aid
chick.
Nation, I think you're suffering from the Mandela effect. They never did remake Red Dawn.
Yeah, buddy, I don't recall that ever happening. I can't believe that, John Milius would let that happen.
Yeah, I've read the talking about Master and Commander. I've read the books, so I understand how hard it is to translate something like that. But I think they did a pretty good job with the movie.
Thank you, Snortopus. That's the joke. The lesser of two weevils. I fucking laughed when he said that. I'm like the only person in the theater. It was a packed theater that laughed. I'm like, nobody fucking got that joke. That's a great joke. Lesser of two weevils. I've been watching the miniseries War and Remember. Oh my God, yes. Herman Wouk. Wow, as some people would say. Great book, great fucking miniseries. Robert Mitchum was the shit. I love that they got Mitchum to be the narrator of Tombstone.
Yeah.
What a great ending to that film. I like that. His response to her when she says, "What do you want to do for the rest of your life?" And then he's, "What kind of question is that?" He's like annoyed at her for asking it.
Yeah. Mitchum's in the best version of Cape Fear too. Nothing against De Niro's version, but
no,
Mitchum's
he's in
version is
both.
much
He's
better.
in both.
Yeah,
He's in
but
both.
I'm talking about the main character.
Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's lots of things I like about De Palma's. Not De Palma. Who was it directing? Was it De Palma? Or was that Scorsese? Because they're friends.
I was thinking, I think it was De Palma because I don't think it was Scorsese that did Cape Fear.
Yeah, it's like I love that they kept the same score. They used the same score. Yeah. It's pretty much straight across the board, almost a straight across board remake. It really is. It's more volatile, more violent, and darker. It went to the dark places that they wanted to go to with the original, and the studio was like, they were skirting disaster. The studio was saying, like, no, don't do that. Don't do that. The whole implying that he planned to rape the daughter was something that they were very careful about, because they said, you go too far with this and we'll get canceled. 1950s version of canceling.
Krampus, that's got to be just some fan thing. There was no Red Dawn 2012, okay? 2012, no.
I only like the Nick Cage Wicker Man. No, not the bees! Not the bees!
So they said something about Left Behind. I saw that Kevin Sorbo's doing a new Left Behind movie.
Not going to watch. I love Kevin Sorbo. Good guy. Met him. Nice guy. Very polite. Very kind. But yeah, I'm not interested in overly Christian productions.
Yeah.
I don't mind if there's faith or religion involved with it, but when it becomes so overboard, that's the main topic, I lose interest in it very quickly. Because I've written about faith, but I want to write a story that's, I don't want my story to be on a pulpit preaching. And that's what a lot of that stuff comes across as to me, is like sitting on a pulpit preaching at you. And I despised overly didactic films. I can't stand it. Wicker Man. There's only one Wicker Man with Christopher Lee and that Welsh actor that played in the original Equalizer series. McCall. He played the character McCall in the original series. Love The Enemy Below. That's a good film, dude. Enemy Below is a really good sub film.
All subs are good, man. I have a thing for subaquatic films and submarines.
You just like being in close spaces with other men.
You just like long hard things full of semen.
Long hard things full of semen.
Sorry, Martine, that was just too easy.
I would never confidence anything on that.
No, I got to tell you, Bill, I actually enjoyed Dr. Sleep. I did. I enjoyed it. I didn't want to read the book. I actually think that Stephen King is kind of a hack writer.
Kind of.
He does well. Most of his books, I always say, read up to the last chapter and then close the book and make up your own ending. It'll be better. He doesn't know how to wrap up books sometimes. But I will tell you, one of my favorite books that had a great ending to it was Pet Sematary. I liked it. It was one of the few books I give him 2 thumbs up. The rest of the time, he's a hack. He's a pervert. There's something wrong with him. There is. It's creepy. His drive for writing Carrie was to write a story about a girl having her first period.
No,
that's a fact. His interest in kids having sex in prepubescent kids having sex. It's just, the fuck is wrong with him? You know, even the movies and the TV show were like, we're not adding that in there. And now he regrets it.
Yeah. My favorite Stephen King is Eyes of the Dragon. I know you're not big into the fantasy stuff, but I really like the way that did. And my other favorite book is the one he wrote with Peter Straub, The Talisman.
Yeah, I like Peter Straub. I'm going to tell you right now, Ice Station Zebra is on my computer. I will always have a copy of that. It's one of my favorite films, Cold War films. Ernest Borgnine, Patrick McGowan, and Rock Hudson.
Yep.
Great fucking movie. Yes, it's Alistair MacLean book. So it's not going to be very accurate with some things. I admit it, but I love that in the movie they did some things that were considered unknown at the time, that people didn't know that how subs breached ice. That movie showed how it's done. So the movie was very accurate compared to the book. The other thing I like about it is the fact that I don't know why I like this. Even though it's in color, you could tell they're on a movie set. It never feels like they're actually on a location. And it made me feel more comfortable with the plot, because that's a scary plot in that movie.
See, you had me at Cavell and you lost me at Guy Ritchie.
No, man, I love Guy Ritchie.
Guy Ritchie is a hit and miss guy. His Robin Hood garbage. He did another one I didn't like, but I love Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels in particular. Is one of my favorites of him. Snatch is great. One of the best performances by Brad Pitt ever is in that movie.
And you can't understand him.
That's the point. His Ikey character is like, his accent is so thick that even the locals are like, I don't know what he said. The Ministry of Ungentlemanly Warfare does sound good. I like that. That's a groovy title. Isn't M. Night Shyamalan making a new movie? I don't know. I've lost all hope with him. When he did Glass, I was just like, I'm done with you, dude. You had one chance.
Yeah, Glass was kind of disappointing into the series.
Excessively disappointing. The whole buildup for the fight between the two characters.
Yeah, and you don't get it.
Nothing. He drowns in a mud puddle. Well, the thing is that movie, 90% of it was shot on a soundstage with Ice Station Zebra.
Yeah.
Almost all the external shots were done by second unit, including the military shots of the sub coming up and all that shit. And they built a full scale mock-up of the sub coning tower. It's all sorts of cool shit in that movie. Ernest Borgnine is great in that film. I fucking love that movie, as is McGowan, because you don't know if he's a good guy or a bad guy when you're watching it. Yeah, Bullet Train is very Guy Ritchie. It's not a story. It's just a bunch of shit that, as Homer Simpson, that episode of Simpsons where it's like Marge is like, well, the moral of the story is, and she says that. And then Lisa goes, no, that's not the moral. The moral of the story is, and he looks at both of them and he goes, what are you two talking about? It's just a bunch of stuff that happened. And I was like, that was back when Homer was still written well. Not a complete fucking idiot.
Krampus, they established in the first movie that his weakness is water.
Yeah, but I mean, how do you hold him down if he's super strong?
If he's super strong, how is he being held down? I really fucking hated it. I really did. I hated that movie. I was so disappointed with what he did. I'm like, you really had an opportunity here to do something amazing and get a budget to do it. And builds up to this big fight's going to happen. And then my twist is it doesn't happen. Well done.
Yeah.
Exactly, Jeeves, exactly. In fact, I'm going to say something about Adam Baldwin. Adam Baldwin got pulled out, a kind of, I'm not going to say he was attacked, but he was talking about how Stanley Kubrick was a dick. And they had brought up the movie Platoon versus Full Metal Jacket. And he says, look, I'm not saying that Full Metal Jacket wasn't a good film, but it's not a pro-soldier film. It's very anti-soldier. He says, when you watch Kubrick's film, it's anti-war, but it's pro-soldier. The soldiers aren't bad guys in there. They're not doing things that are questionable.
Yeah.
Whereas you have characters that are murderers, brutally mean bullies. The Kevin Dillon character shooting at the feet of that guy, just it was fucking awful, and I'm not saying that isn't something that happened. I'm saying that that's 1% of the activity of American soldiers in Vietnam, 1%. And Oliver Stone and De Palma love to make films that talk about the worst things that soldiers can do. And even though it's only 1% of the soldiers that do those things, while 99% don't, they want to make those movies because they're anti-soldier. Oliver Stone's a piece of shit communist craphead. I really liked Red Dawn with Patrick Swayze. It's a good film. It is a very good film. Yep. I don't know about this updated version. You guys keep bringing it up. I've never heard of it. I'm having doubts it ever happened. Adam was great in Firefly. Oh, man, he's great in everything. Chuck. That show, I only watched that show to watch fucking Adam Baldwin and the cute chick.
Shiny. Let's be bad guys.
Dolph Lundgren in late 1944 World War II with Tyrese Gibson, Michael Jai White, Kellen Lutz, U.S. Army and France fighting on the border of Germany. I have, the minute I see that cast, I'm immediately doubtful of its accuracy and its focus on quality. But I'll give it a shot. I'm always willing to give it a shot. I've told that story of meeting Dolph Lundgren at dinner.
Yeah, Gap Das Boot is a classic.
Well, they've got a new series. It's really highly rated, but I don't know how good it is. I like the original film with Jürgen.
It's not bad.
Jürgen Prochnow is just an amazing actor, and yeah, I bet that link is dead. I bet it's dead. It's not a real thing. That link goes nowhere.
Oh, denial.
I got to tell you, Krampus, you guys can keep trying. We're not going to admit to that movie existing.
Oh, and it says
I made the mistake of watching it one night, and I'm like, oh, why'd they do this? Why did they do this? Excuse me, I'm sorry. I have the double pack with the original.
Oh, you've got the original in there twice. Is that what you said? Double pack?
Hey, look at this.
It depends on who they get playing. What's the antagonist from, or the protagonist from that movie? or for that game
Huh.
in the series.
No, it's a series or a movie?
Or the movie.
I know there's a Tubi series that I just heard about too called Ghost Warriors. I don't know what that's about. The title's kind of cool, but the poster for it looks god awful.
Ghost of Tsushima is a video game. It's a really good action samurai game.
So you liked it?
No, everybody loves that fucking game, man.
Yeah, it was a really popular game. It did well.
I have another film I'd like to suggest to people and get the director's cut version of Hell in the Pacific with Toshiro Mifune and Lee Marvin. The director's cut has a more bleak ending. It's the original ending. And it's directed by John Boorman, the same man that brought us Excalibur and The Emerald Jungle. John Boorman is a very good director. He was close friends with Lee Marvin. They loved working together. He's the one who was present when Lee Marvin did that thing when that colonel or whatever he was, he had the egg clusters on his
the scrambled eggs.
Hat. Yeah, the scrambled eggs. And he walked up, and his attaché walked up to Mr. Marvin. Mr. Marvin, my commanding officer would love to meet you. He's a big fan of yours. And so he approaches Lee, and Lee takes the hat off his head and just starts going, eating the scrambled eggs. And then takes his hat, puts it on, and puts it down to his nose and goes back to what he was doing. And then flustered, the officer just turns around and walks away, doesn't know what to do. And about 15, 20 minutes later, before their flight, the attaché comes back up. Sir, the officer would love to have his hat back. And he gave it to him. It's just like fucking Lee Marvin, man, did not like officers. Has anybody ever seen the movie 30 Seconds Over Tokyo? Yeah, that's with Spencer Tracy.
Yep.
Classic story about Billy Mitchell's raid.
Raid on Tokyo.
Yeah, it was. Look, they put it in Pearl Harbor, and if you take out all the romantic aspects of that movie, it's a good war film. But all the fucking romantic shit in there was just stupid in the movie Pearl Harbor, just terrible.
Yeah. The cool thing about that raid is it's the first time they ever had bombers take off from aircraft carriers. Because
but this is important. Why?
Because
they did it?
They didn't have the range to reach.
The Japanese overplayed their hand, and America wanted to let them know, you touched us, we're going to show you we can touch you.
And another real cool thing about that, all the shit out of them had those freedom medals that they gave us right before they hit us in Pearl Harbor, so that all the bombs had them wired to them, so that all the bombs had the little medals that the Japanese gave Americans as part of the friendship, and then they turn around and hit us in Pearl Harbor. Well, Billy Mitchell gave them right back.
Yep, here you go. And I do like that scene in the movie, even though Alec Baldwin, I think, plays Billy Mitchell in that. Another miscasting. No, I have not. I assumed it's crap. But I've never seen
that. Doesn't even exist anymore, does it?
No, they died.
Yeah.
They got all their shows and stuff got picked up by somebody else. I think it was Amazon. I think Amazon picked them up, and they're available on Freevee. Yeah, I know. It was so stupid. First of all, anybody who knows their history knows that the only two pilots that got in the air that day that they show in the movie were real. There were real two men, and they did not have that life. That was just so fucking weird and off-putting. That if you're going to tell that story, tell the real story of the guys and what they did. Be more realistic. And they put that stupid fucking love triangle in there. It's dumb. Megan Fox and 50 Cent are in Expendables 4?
That's not something to be excited about.
Yeah. Like, what? I just don't know why they would be. But you're right, Snartopupus. It was just that was the problem with the movie. I want to either do it myself or find a copy of a fan edited version that removes all the fucking hokey emotional drama from that movie and just focuses on the story of the war and how it started.
Even though it'll only be about 30, 45 minutes.
Well, it's a 3-hour film. I bet you they can knock it down to an hour and a half. What was this? I'm not sure. You're talking about The Fugitive and that. So yeah, I think Freevee or Amazon itself just bought everything that Quibi had. Quibi was sadly, it was a failure. They bought that one too, The Most Dangerous Game, which is still one of my favorite books I read as a kid.
That's one about the hunting humans, right?
Yeah, the guy is on an island, and a bunch of rich guys are going to hunt him, and it's fucking intense. Yeah, because they only do 15. I think each episode is 10, 15 minutes long. It's really weird to do shows that. Yeah, so I'm not surprised to hear that, but. I'm trying to think if there's any other war shows or movies that I've seen recently
Yeah, I don't think there's going over what I've seen recently. And
All Quiet on the Western Front was actually much better than I expected.
Oh, the remake?
Mm-hmm. Readaptation.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We all need to get into the practice of doing that because I catch myself doing it too. I do it all the time. I shouldn't do that. The Greatest Beer Run Ever should have been a better film. It was very disappointing. It went political in the third act, and I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah, I thought Black Crab was terrible. I thought Sniper was terrible, the new one. The White Raven. Hanson looks really good. I'm looking forward to seeing that. Interceptor was dumb. War Hunt was one of those straight-to-video movies. It's just terrible with Mickey Rourke in it. The Woman King is just absolute bullshit. It's just bullshit. Fake rewrite of history. Bad rewrite of history. It's an absolute bald-faced lie about that tribe and what they did and that queen. She was awful. There was a Discord rant about all 2022 Netflix originals were crap, and I responded with All Quiet. And I'm like, there you go. Good film. I got to be honest with you. I always felt that in the previous two adaptations, which was the original film with Lou Ayres as the main character, and the version with Richard Thomas from The Waltons, plays the main character with Ernest Borgnine as his sergeant. I enjoyed it, but both versions had this it's heavy-handed. The reaching for a flower and getting sniped, it's like, it's so fucking over the top. This film, he dies off camera. He just dies from his wounds. He bleeds out. And one of his friends goes by and sees his body just sitting there.
More realistic.
And it's dour and brutal what war is. War is brutal. And I hate it when people try to get overly poetic with the brutality of war. And it's funny because you go all the way back to the first anti-war war film book, really, to be honest with you, was The Red Badge of Courage. And I forget the gentleman's name that wrote that. Red Badge of Courage.
Yeah, Mikey, we talked about it for a few minutes and went back to talking about other stuff.
Yeah, Stephen Crane, who wrote it.
Yeah.
And Stephen Crane wrote Red Badge of Courage, and he did a lot of speaking engagements at the time. And he went to a veterans home, and the veterans were like, "You were there." And he's like, "No, I wasn't there." And he goes, no, you couldn't have written what you wrote in that book and not have been there. This is what veterans at the time of the, that survived the Civil War were telling Crane and saying to Crane and about Crane. And it's an impressive book. I remember having to read that in school. It's one of those I was glad I read it. It was really good. And Audie Murphy's version is a beautiful war film, Red Badge of Courage. What a great, great movie. Yeah, well, if you leave Mexican Iron Man, you get to miss things. So there you go. I haven't seen the new All Quiet movie. No, watch it. Just watch it. There are many ways to watch it. You don't have to spend money. See, the Hunger Games, The Battle of Songbirds, the same. I was really not interested in those. It really wasn't.
It's a prequel to the whole thing. It talks about a previous Hunger Games that takes place.
Yeah, but here's the problem. Oh, do they get liberty at the end of it? No, they can't fucking get liberty after the end of it because we know that it's going to lead into the next series. I hate prequels. I hate prequels for that reason.
Yeah, I'm with you. I
am not a fan of prequel stories. I just hate them. It's like, Mac brought home a copy of the prequel for the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And I said, I guess maybe Leatherface dies in this one? Is it possible? No, because it's a prequel. We know who's not going to die. So no, thank you.
That was my main con with Andor. And then the fucking shit was good.
Good show. It was a good show, but it's not Star Wars. But it was good. I enjoyed the writing. The acting was really good. It was superb. Veterans get paid. Get PTSD hearing the story of Mexican Iron Man getting plowed by the fat chicken Loki's morning show. The most surprised I was in watching a war movie was the big red one where I saw Mark Hamill in it, Luke Skywalker himself. Yeah. I prefer the director's cut on that one too. It's a very good film. I like the fact that they put in there the whole not being friendly to new guys thing, because it's true. That shit happened. Like if their friends were dying and a new guy shows up, they don't want to get friendly with him.
Never get friendly with the FNG.
Better Call, I'm assuming Saul and Hannibal are only prequels I like recently. I got to be honest, it's technically not a prequel because it's being retold in the past about the past, but it's being told in the future. And we don't know what's going to happen to him. And that's what I'm waiting to find out is what happens to him. Because I think he's going to die. I think they're going to kill him. I don't know. Did we get our final season of Better Call Saul? Or are we going to get more?
This last one was the last season, if I recall correctly.
I haven't seen the end of it.
I watched the first season. I didn't watch any others. I was like, eh.
And I enjoyed Hannibal to a certain extent because I thought that it was probably one of the most artistically done television shows ever. It was just beautiful to watch. But anyway, the only thing I like recently is Reacher. I love Reacher. What was it somebody said yesterday that they were talking about doing a sequel, Reacher Around the World?
Yeah.
But going back, Big Red One's a very good film. I do like that film. Lee Marvin. The only thing I remember about the Big Red One was commenting on how they got the insignia wrong on the dead Germans inside the knocked out tank and then finding out it was a plot point. Yeah. So, man, I'm done. I'm ready to go sleep for another day. Anything else we want to talk about, guys?
No, just that for this year, I have a list of movies that I want to see that I realize that are probably.
I'm just going to shake my head at that joke.
I like that.
By the way, the Thing prequel was kind of meh, although the Thing video game, I have the video game. I love the video game. And it is, it's a sequel. The Thing game is a sequel because at the end, McCready is in the helicopter. He got picked up and saved and helps fire that machine gun at the final thing in the ice. I like the video game. The prequel, I think if they had released it the way it's supposed to be released with all practical effects, it would have done better.
Yeah.
But the effects were garbage in it. The CG was just garbage. It's not good at all. That the uncanny valley is too obvious. Also, they missed what made the first one so scary was isolation and paranoia. And they went for drama instead of just excessive drama. And suddenly the alien was violently taking over people in front of others. And I was just, nah, no, thank you. Yes, Snortapoop asleep. But we'll talk about Terminal List next week. We'll do episodes 2 and 3. Or is it 3 and 4? I can't remember what number.
2 and 3. 2 and 3.
We'll do 2 and 3, and I won't be sick anymore, so I'll be more prepared and energized.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So I want to thank everybody for being here. Let's see who all showed up. We got Awesome One. Pat is here. Real Wade Nation. Snortapoopus Cuber. Gap After Dark. Cavatino Cavalryman Che. Mexican Iron Man Mikey. Alex Moore. Dragon Brick. Scribe Light. Dragon Ruse. Bill Barkley. Krampus Jeebus. And of course, the lovely Penny. Glad you're all here. I thought I saw Anima here.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was. Why is she's not put on the list?
She's not on the list. So I want to thank all y'all for being here. Thank you so much. I'm going to be watching some more stuff this week. We're going to have some more stuff to talk about here in the coming weeks. I wish I could have talked about that movie more. There's no time, and I was sick as shit this weekend to watch because Joe's Atmosphere wanted me to talk about it today because of Pele, the movie Victory. So I talked a little bit about it, with stuff I remember. That was also the movie where Stallone began his bread and water diet to drop his fat content on his body to become lean, and it changed his look. And he did Rambo 2 right after that. So with Victory, he still had the old Stallone body that had a little baby fat on it. And then when he did Rambo 2, he was lean, green fighting machine. I'll do it.
Yeah.
You just made the list. I should grab that. It's a really good idea. I'll grab that one. Gap After Dark, thanks for being here, man. Thank you all for being here. Very grateful. Thanks, John, for being here. Martin, thanks for being here. Man, my brain is just a fog right now.
I'd like to plug that 70s show later this afternoon.
That 70s show or that 90s show?
That's that 70s rock fans show.
Oh, okay.
Only Talk and Roll. We're doing the canon movies, specifically the ones from the 70s, 80s, and
you have to include The Last American Virgin. It's one of my favorite films they produced.
I'll make sure it gets mentioned. But it's at 4 Central, 3 Mountain.
When they got crabs in that
Eastern.
film, I'm telling you, the boys got crabs from that hooker. Led to one of the funniest scenes where they're just hanging around in the pool, thinking the chlorine would kill them. Great fucking movie. On the 4th, Bill Barkley, I hear you, buddy. Everybody have a great day. Happy New Year. It's 2023. Let's try to make this a better year. Hollywood, stop letting your classic actors die. Quit killing people we love. Kill some people that nobody likes. Make 2023 better. Kill some people we don't like. Hear me, Death? Take somebody we don't care about. And we start off on a bad year last year with Betty White, man. Yeah.
And Mr. Reaper, if you want to know who to take, I have a list.
Yes. And I have a list too, but I'm not going to ever share it publicly because I think that somebody would probably try to say I'm committing a crime. I don't know. But I have a list, and I checked it twice. And all I got to say is, Martine.
What?
Be happy you did not make that list.
I don't fear the Reaper. Hey.
Good song.
Best use of that song, Halloween, 1978. Boom, baby.
Yep.
Hey, guys. Thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as letting us know if there's something you'd like us to cover in a future episode. Don't forget that you can become a member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page and merch store at popcultureminefield.com. You can always find Pop Culture Minefield on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.